The taper is quite simply the reduction in training volume. But this is where we make a conscious effort to run less miles in the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to the marathon. So think about it, you've just spent the last 14, maybe 16 or 18 weeks training hard for this marathon. And if you carry on training, if you carry on with high running mileage in the days, in the couple of weeks before the marathon, you're probably not going to cross that start line as energized as you could be. You're probably going to feel fatigued, exhausted, lethargic, sluggish. You'll probably think that the marathon is just another long run. We want all of those weeks of training, all of that fitness that you've built up to really come to the fore at that start line. And that is what the taper does. That is what the reduction in miles does. It gives your body a chance to recover, to rebuild, to repair. It gives your mind a chance to reset and to refocus. And it's not just me saying this. Research shows that a well-executed taper can improve your marathon performance by 2 to 3%. So that could mean the difference between a 4-hour marathon and a 3-hour 55-minute marathon. So the taper really does work. So this is what a typical 3-week taper looks like. And it's based on a peak week of 80 kilometers. So that's the week where you run the most distance. And the structure of this week is going to be very similar to previous weeks. We have a couple of easy runs, which will be ran at a very conversational pace. We have 2 speed workout sessions, so keep the intensity up, but you may want to reduce the number of reps. We have 2 very important rest days, and then we have the long run. And this long run should be about 20% less than your longest long run. So that could be somewhere around 20-25 kilometers. And you can see there, the total distance for this week is going to be touching the 64 kilometers or 40 miles distance. So 2 weeks out for the marathon, this is where it gets interesting. So we're going to reduce our total distance by around about 30% based on our peak week. So the total distance for this week is going to be around about 52 kilometers. And our long run this week should be somewhere between 15 to 18 kilometers. We've still got our easy runs, we've still got our speed sessions, so we need to maintain our fitness, maintain the intensity. But the idea of this week, by the end of it, you should still feel that you've got some left in the tank, and that's exactly where we need to be 2 weeks out from the marathon. Gives you a chance to really test out the running gear as well, what you're going to wear on race day, do a full running kit rehearsal. You finally made it. This is race week, 1 week away from your marathon. And this is where we really do change things up. We want to be running 70% less than our peak week. So that could mean we run somewhere between 20 to 24 kilometers. And you'll notice in this example, I have 2 easy runs, which should be ran at a very, very conversational pace. We have 1 last speed session. So keep the intensity up. Reduce the number of reps. This is your last chance to get your legs used to a bit of speed. You'll notice I've introduced 3 days of rest, 4 days out from the marathon. You want to start the marathon as fresh as you can. So these rest days will allow you to do that. And don't forget, this week, there'll be lots of things going on. Maybe you're traveling internationally. Maybe you have to travel to a new city. So there'll be lots of logistics you'll have to work out. Checking into a new hotel, getting used to a new environment, getting all your food for your carb load. So there'll be lots of things going on. So make sure you plan this week carefully. Plan the structure. When are you going to do your runs? Where are you going to do them? And this is the week where lots of runners sometimes pick up slight colds or sniffles. So it's a good idea to really focus on getting healthy, good food. Maybe top it up with vitamin C, get some good sleep, get some good fresh air and some sunlight. This could be the most important week in your marathon training block. And you'll notice the day before the marathon, a shakeout run. So this is typically organised by the marathon organisers or running clubs near to where the marathon is taking place. And this is usually done the day before the marathon. So the shakeout run, it's not there to improve your marathon performance or to improve your fitness. So any runs you do today, the fitness benefits only come about in about 2 weeks' time. So the shakeout run is not there to fine-tune your fitness. It's a social run. You might want to get to know fellow marathon runners. It's a chance to just ease the nerves. Before the marathon, some people can be quite nervous. So a shakeout run does exactly what it sounds. It shakes out those nerves. A shakeout run is around about 5 kilometers. If you do it, make sure you do it at a sensible, comfortable pace. Paranoia, the taper crazes, the taper tantrums, these are real things that marathon runners experience a couple of weeks before the marathon. Your mood may be low, you may be quite anxious, you may be quite nervous, you may not feel yourself. Don't worry, this is just your mind's way of preparing you for the big day. You may start to feel niggles, and you may start to wonder whether these niggles are going to turn into injuries. These are phantom injuries. Most marathon runners go through this. You may start to doubt yourself. Because you've not ran far for a couple of weeks, you may have forgotten that you can actually run far. So you may start to question whether you can complete the marathon distance. Ignore it. The easy runs may feel a little bit difficult. You may feel quite sluggish. Again, this is just paranoia. This is just your mind's way of playing tricks at you to get you ready for the marathon distance. And obviously a big part of the taper, especially the final week, is to really home in on your nutrition. We all know about carb loading, and basically what you need to do 3 days out from the marathon, you need to increase your carbohydrate intake, whether that's through food or through sports or energy drinks. Increase the carbs, maybe lighten the protein and the fiber quantities when you eat, and it's a chance to focus on sleep. Those final few days before the marathon, try and get as much sleep as you can. The night before the marathon, you may not get a full night's sleep. Don't worry about it. So if your race is on the Sunday, make sure you get a good night's sleep on the Thursday and Friday. In Muscat Marathon, I had around 3 hours sleep before my marathon. It didn't affect my marathon performance that much. Take those couple of days to check out the course, check out the weather, check out how you're gonna get your bib, how you're gonna get to the start line, how you're gonna meet your friends and family after the finish line once you complete your marathon. So use those days wisely. Even though you're not running, you can still be preparing for the marathon. You really, really have to trust the taper. It may feel awkward. It may feel counterintuitive. You're being asked to run less before you run the marathon. You may be questioning, I need to run more miles to get myself more fitter before the marathon. Don't do this. I did this in my first couple of marathons. I had a few injuries, a few niggles in the training block, so I missed a couple of long runs. So nearer to the marathon start, I did a couple of long runs, way too far, way too close to a marathon start line, and I didn't feel fresh. So don't cram in extra runs. If you've missed 1 or 2 long runs in your training block, don't worry about it. The hay is in the barn. The work is already done. Don't use that taper to cram in extra runs or a sneaky long run. And if your marathon isn't in the place where you live, maybe you're traveling internationally or you're visiting a new city, don't be tempted to do all your tours and all your sightseeing the day before the marathon. Leave all the tours to the day after. I've made this mistake. The day before the marathon, I must have walked 10, 15 kilometers. And I often wonder, if I didn't, how much better would those marathons have been? Good luck in your marathon. Don't forget, trust the taper. The taper works. It will get you to your marathon start line fit, strong, and raring to go. So until the next one, I'll see you soon.